Willow might have been called Polina, King could have a different backstory, and the whole show was meant to be much darker. Just a day ago, the Owl House animation test surfaced. As Rebecca Rose, the production associate on the Owl House, says, it's not actually the pilot, but something called Next Time On, which is intended to demonstrate the look and the vibe of the show. Amphibia had pretty much the same thing. The pilot itself is only storyboards, so basically this animation test that we have might be one of the not so many pieces of Owl House animated footage we haven't seen. So, what are the interesting details? Well, first of all, the art and animation style in some places is visibly different from what we have in the show. It is widely spoken that originally Luz wasn't supposed to have a way back to the human realm, so she had to stay there, be a witch, and explore the Isles. Ida refuses to teach Luz at first for obvious reasons, and in my opinion this conflict is actually written better here than in the show, where Ida basically had almost no reason to take Luz to live with her and as her student. Perhaps this could have been developed in Season 1 filler episodes, which I heard a lot of people criticize. Nevertheless, Luz says a line, King used to know magic. For me that just sounds like a different wording of King's story that we all know, and later he even kind of further proves that by saying he's still being treated like a cute little animal. His design is different too, but all of you already saw that. Unlike King, Season 1 Willow seems to be about the same, as clumsy and not experienced with magic but still fascinated with plants. The only major difference is her name. Here she's called Polina. Then we see a scene with someone named William, who a lot of people believe to be an early concept of Hunter because of similar design, and a scene where Luz slaps Boss with her hand to wake them up. But since he's named a powerful wizard here, this might be a prototype of the storyline from Season 1 Episode 2. After this moment, when Ida agrees to teach Luz, we jump into the epic montage, where in the first shot we see the skull of the Titan, which is different in both the art style and its shape. It actually reminds me more of the Titan skull at the Titan Trapper's Island. But then we see the hit of the show, the Owl House. It is also drawn in a unique art style, and we can see that the shop is actually integrated into it, which hugely reminds me of Gravity Falls and the Mystery Shack. Early Hootie looks so adorable, by the way. Another scene we can notice is the eye at the Owl House blinking. This is actually the storyline I was hoping to see developing in the show, as in the first episode, in the very last scene, it does actually blink. The next two shots, especially the second one, imply the original darkness and horror focus of the show. The first time I saw the mirror scene, I immediately remembered Grom, so maybe again this was a kind of a concept for it. Some more cuteness with King is followed by either the early version of Belos or even Warden Raz, who has captured Ida and Luz is heading to save her. I believe the following scene where the Owlgans sit at the top of the Owl House and look at the town of Bonesborough will become this, very similar moment in Season 1 Episode 2. The old logo's design is the same, but it's filled with much brighter colors, which even hurt my eyes a bit. It's the last scene of the animation though, which shows the biggest difference yet. Instead of the traditional glyphs, Luz could do magic with her hands, even though she did need to use some special runes. She also has a kind of a spell book. If you remember the first time in the show when Luz questions how humans can do magic, Ida says that witches used to do magic differently in the past. In the show she does not remember how, but in the original concept Luz probably found a book in the library, or Ida even just gave it to her, which describes that exact different way of doing magic. In addition, if we look at Luz's spell, this lightning is red colored, and as we know, red color is typical for Belos' magic, the artificial kind. So maybe magic was less explored at that point, and there were these two kinds, normal witch magic and artificial. Though witch circles didn't exist either, and witches used some kind of wands, as we see Willow do it. Talisman magic did exist, however. Magic is such a wide topic in the show, and if you wanna know more about it, check out my last video on the screen right now.